From snow-covered forests to coral-ringed shores, Japan feels like several nations arranged along a single chain of islands. Its length across the Pacific brings every season, every contrast, every challenge. Here, geography isn't background, it dictates rhythm, how people build, move, and even think about change. This is Earthspective, and today we're tracing a nation stretched from blizzards to monsoons, to see how one landscape, multiplied by climate and culture, created 1,000 ways to live. At Japan's top edge lies Hokkaidō, a wide, cold land where winters reign for half the year. Volcanoes, forests, and empty plains replace the crowded scenes of Tokyo. Agriculture thrives on dark volcanic soil, wheat, dairy, and potatoes. But the season for growth is short, so people plan carefully, living by the calendar of frost and thaw. This is also the homeland of the Ainu, Japan's indigenous people, whose culture grew from the forest and the sea. Fishing, hunting, and quiet endurance shaped their way of life long before Japan's modern expansion reached these shores. Today, Hokkaido's capital, Sapporo, glows through the snow with its winter festival lights, proof that isolation doesn't have to mean stillness. Up here, survival is simply another form of beauty. Travel south and you reach Tohoku, a land of cold fields and deep roots. Steep valleys cradle rice terraces that mirror the sky, and mountain villages lie half hidden under drifting fog. Life follows the harvest cycle. Festivals fill the long winters with color and sound, echoes of gratitude for the next growing season. Sake brewing, fishing, and traditional crafts have persisted for centuries because geography left little room for excess. But this region also endures the planet's tremors. Earthquakes, tsunamis, and storms remind everyone that peace is temporary. Communities rebuild not because they forget, but because the land demands persistence. Tohoku is quieter than Tokyo, older in rhythm, shaped by hardship, defined by endurance. Then the mountains part, and the land suddenly opens into a great flat plain. This is Kantō, the stage on which Tokyo rose. A rare expanse of low, stable ground in a country of mountains, it invited growth. Here, the geography didn't hinder ambition, it magnified it. Tokyo spreads across this plain like circuitry, steel, glass, and train lines binding 30 million people into one living network. But beneath that order lies risk. The city rests on active fault lines and reclaimed land. So Tokyo learned flexibility, building sway instead of shattering. Evacuation drills, seawalls, and early warnings weave security into daily life. The result is a metropolis that respects the ground it stands on, not by ignoring danger, but by designing around it. Central Honshū rises sharply into the Japanese Alps. High peaks wrapped in clouds, where rivers begin and the air feels older. These mountains divide Japan east from west, cold from warm, and city from solitude. Villages like Shirakawa-go still carry the architecture of survival. Steep thatched roofs to shed meters of snow, wooden frames that flex with storms. The rivers born here feed the plains below, binding the nation's extremes through water. Hot springs steam between pine forests, and narrow roads link remote towns where time moves slowly. Up here, the land insists on humility. If you're enjoying this journey across Japan's landscapes, Take a second to like the video. It helps Earthspective reach more curious minds. Subscribe if you'd like to keep exploring how the planet's shape defines the way we live upon it. Now, from the cold mountains, let's move toward warmth, trade, and the heart of tradition. As the land softens, the air turns warmer, and so does the architecture. Wooden houses breathe with the humidity. Sliding doors and open verandas invite wind instead of fighting it. This is Kansai, Kyoto, Osaka, Kobe, the cradle of Japan's classical heart and its mercantile spirit. Kyoto's temples rise among forests of cedar. Osaka's markets buzz by the water. Geography shaped both. Fertile plains and sheltered bays created prosperity long before the industrial age. And between the islands, the inland sea served as Japan's ancient highway, a calm corridor for trade and ideas. Kansai embodies balance between beauty and practicality, ritual and routine, mountain and coast. Further south, steam and green fields announce Kyūshū, a volcanic island still alive beneath its surface. Hot springs bubble through the ground, and black volcanic soil yields endless crops of rice and tea. Here, the earth is restless, but generous. Mount Aso breathes quietly in the distance while farmers work slopes rich with minerals. Nagasaki's harbor, once Japan's only window to the world, gave Kyūshū a legacy of exchange. Chinese ceramics, Dutch medicine, Western architecture. It's a place where isolation met curiosity, and both thrived. The region feels different. Slower, warmer, almost tropical. It's Japan's southern bridge to the wider world. Beyond Kyūshū, the islands keep stretching into blue, all the way to Okinawa and the Ryūkyū chain. Here, the air thickens, coral reefs replace snow, and the sunlight never seems to fade. Homes use wide eaves, tiled roofs, and coral walls to withstand typhoons. Life revolves around the ocean. The local language and customs still echo older connections to Southeast Asia. Okinawa's people are famous for their longevity, a culture built on community, calm, and shared endurance. It's Japan's southern edge, yet it feels like a beginning, where nature and humanity coexist at their gentlest pace. Japan isn't a single landscape. It's a chain of contrasts held together by rhythm. Each island teaches a different way to live with uncertainty. Hokkaidō endures, Honshū adapts, Kyūshū welcomes, and Okinawa rests. From blizzards to monsoons, volcanoes to coral reefs, the same lesson repeats. Harmony, not conquest. The land changes, the people adjust, and together they find continuity in motion. That's Japan's quiet genius, not resisting nature, but designing life around its moods.